This is Up for Grabs, a podcast where three unfiltered friends talk about anything and everything. And now, here are your hosts, Tracy, Kim, and Rachel.
Welcome to Up for Grabs. I'm Rachel. I'm here with my friends Kim.
Hello.
Hello. And Tracy.
Hi.
Hi. Good to see you guys again. Today on Up for Grabs, we're going back to true crime, and we've got a follow-up, people. We've got...
And an unexpected follow-up.
Which really sent you on social media, Tracy, into a bit of a frenzy, if I may say.
Yes, it did.
So go ahead and tell everybody what you saw. And
With only 2 days notice, I saw it was going to be on Hulu, Return to Fox Hollow. And we covered the Fox Hollow murders. Was that this year?
Yeah.
Okay. And I was very interested in it then. So when I saw on Hulu Return to Fox Hollow, like on Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever day it was, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't even have to wait. Like, what am I going to wear? I was very excited. I was like, nobody talk to me. I'm getting my snacks prepared.
how dare they drop that with no forewarning?
But let me just say, I am not the only one. Other people commented on there and or tagged people on my post and said, did you see this?
Yeah.
Like, did you see what's happening?
Okay. So you weren't the only person that was super excited
No,
about
ma'am.
it. What snacks did you eat when you were watching?
That's none of your business.
Oh, well, I was just trying to get an idea of...
Well, they're not things I should probably eat.
Just trying to,
So, I don't
get in the mind of a crazy true crime watcher. That's you.
All right, fine. Fritos and chocolate chip cookies. Both.
At the same time?
Sometimes.
Sweet and salty.
Yeah.
I would never have thought to put that crunch together.
Your loss.
Well, that's just something else I can...
I'm an artist. Go on. I'm a food artist. Like it's Subway.
You're a sandwich artist. Okay, so yes, what we're doing is we're returning to Fox Hollow.
Yes.
So if you haven't heard our initial podcast, feel free to jump back in and listen to that. But I don't think you need to have seen that necessarily to hop in and listen to us talk now.
Absolutely not.
In the documentary, too, it really kind of gave a good backdrop on what had happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It gave
I
a
mean,
general idea and then a little more.
So basically, at the end of the first documentary, you just were kind of left with, hey, Herb Baumeister, the guy that lived at the Fox Hollow Farms, the guy that most likely murdered all of these men, he committed suicide.
Yep.
Out of the state. Was he in Canada?
Canada.
Okay, so he was out of the country, was killed himself at a park, right? Like in his car.
Yes.
And that was just kind of where it ended. And the Hamilton County...
Corner.
is that who Jeff Jellison is?
Yes.
Okay, so Jeff Jellison's the Hamilton County coroner. It kind of left him saying, hey, we're still finding remains. And there's so many of them, nobody in Hamilton County is going to pay for all of these remains to be tested. But I really feel like these families need
There are
some
more people
closure.
to identify. Yeah.
We've got tons of stuff to identify and not enough resources to do it. Yeah. So I think it kind of left with...
Yeah. Like he was kind of crowdsourcing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think people probably really chipped in for that.
I think they did too. So we come off of that as in the return to Fox Hollow, and I thought it was interesting that the very opening scene was... Do you remember what it was? It was that... Well, it was in Denver. What was it? True Crime Con or
With
what?
John Quiones.
Oh my God. I thought we were getting pranked. Didn't he do a prank show? Like, what would you do?
What would you do? That
with
wasn't
John?
a prank. That was like setting people up, and it was delightful.
Yeah.
Watching people be rude and then
Who
find out
knew
they were on
went
cameras.
to CrimeCon?
Is that what it called? Crime
Yes.
Con?
Yes.
I want to go
I mean, that would have been amazing to,
to
So
see him there.
it was him and another gentleman that was a investigator, an independent investigator. I think I don't
I
remember
didn't know
his
he was
name.
a cop with
Yeah,
him
I
or
can't
what
remember
he
either.
was.
He had a
but-
fun mustache.
Oh, well, he was the cop from Denver, I think, that joined in on this case.
Okay. Well, they were like superstars at CrimeCon.
Yes, they sure were. They were on the big stage.
And people like came up and took pictures with them, which I
Yes.
thought was a little weird. I mean, I'm
They were
happy for
paying
what that man.
They paid for that at CrimeCon.
Well, I hope all of that money went directly to
yeah.
I'm
DNA
sure he
testing.
That guy
half
seems
of it.
like such
I
a
don't
good
know.
man. He would
Just for
probably.
him. I like him.
Yeah.
I like him too.
I want him to be paid to take pictures with people.
And if I ever go missing, I want him on the
me
case.
too.
Yes.
Me too.
Okay,
Even
so
though he's
it starts at
very close to
CrimeCon,
return.
and then I thought, oh shoot, CrimeCon. That's gonna get Kim and Tracy all excited, and they're gonna.
One of these years, I will go. To,
More
at
than
some
that,
point.
I'd like to go to Snack Con that's here in Indianapolis, but you can't go. This is
What?
totally not about this podcast.
It's
But
private?
There is a snack convention that have candy and snacks.
Yeah, like all the new
here
things.
at what's it called? Convention Center downtown. But you have to be like in the business, a distributor.
Well,
of
I'm in the
things.
business.
Yeah.
I'm about to make
eating.
a product, and they have samples. And
Isn't
they
it going
have all
on
the
right
stuff.
now?
I don't know. Are you kidding?
Should I not have said that?
Well, let's go break in.
Are you gonna?
Speaking of crimes,
I was going to say, watch out for the news highlights when
I
you
just
see
want to
somebody
see
bringing
it,
in
and I feel like
snack
it would be
con.
That would
like
be really fun.
Willy Wonka's
that would be
factory.
really fun.
Oh my God! Now it's Willy Wonka.
Yeah,
I don't like Willy Wonka. But
I don't
that's a
either, but I
different-
like the factory.
Okay,
Okay,
so
get serious. This is
yeah. Now
serious.
we're back to we've returned again to Fox Hollow. So we get done with CrimeCon, and I want to start that with the documentary. I think one of the most important people that they introduced, that they may have, she might have had a cameo in the last one. Was
she was in it.
was
She
a
was, yeah, I didn't
reporter.
remember that.
Yeah, she's a reporter for the Noblesville Daily Ledger, and that's like, small, especially in the '90s, small town newspaper, probably like covering like, I don't know.
I don't know. That seems
Farmers
like it would
markets
be
and-
like one of those
Yeah.
that you pick up at the grocery store.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
think. I
it
don't know.
might have been a little bit more than that because Carmel used to have a paper as well,
Okay.
but it was small.
Yeah.
Small town.
Yeah, like nobody
Yeah.
was getting murdered and people were reporting on it. It was
Correct.
more like, oh, here's an open house or
Yes.
snack con. I don't know, but her name was Laura Musall,
Sure.
Musall.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Laura initially reported on her Baumeister's Fox Hollow investigation in the Noblesville Daily Ledger back in her day.
Yes.
And she came on, she's back on this documentary saying, you know what, I thought I was done being a reporter, being a journalist, but something just didn't sit well with me. And now that I don't know if she's retired, but she made it
think
seem like
she
she had
is.
time.
I mean,
I think she is
it's
just
in-
dedicating everything to this.
She said, you know what, I would love to see, and I love anyone that files for the Freedom of Information Act and actually gets
I know,
access to
because
stuff.
It's very
Yes.
hard to get access to it.
And it sounds like there was a ton. So basically, it sounded like her methodology, which sounded smart, was that there wasn't a lot to be seen in the Hamilton County files. So she was going to Indianapolis trying to get everything that had been documented before it was handed over.
Yes.
It didn't say. I would have loved to have known. How long does that take?
I listen to a lot of podcasts where is it called FOIA? Is that what the abbreviations for freedom of?
Yeah,
it is.
yes.
That's what it's called. It can take months. It's really up to them how quickly they want to give it to you. And like sometimes if adolescents are involved in anything, then you can't get it. If it's hard to get.
Well, and she also I don't know if there were really all the information she got, but her desk was strewn
Didn't
with.
she say she was writing a book?
She
Yes.
did.
Okay,
She
so
did
she
write
was-
a book, and I think there's going to be another because I think she has found more information than she has given us, and she gave us quite a
absolutely.
bit.
I absolutely
this
think so.
time. And
Is the book already out?
I thought it
I don't
was.
know. I thought
it was. I
I
don't
thought she
have
said
it.
she was writing a book.
Okay,
I
maybe
don't
that's
know.
it. And before I forget, her Facebook page is Laura, last name Musall, the Herb Baumeister story. She puts things out every day.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to follow that.
Clips of the articles that she has, stuff from the reports, like copies of some of the reports.
Well, she did a heck of a job from what she was telling us on this particular documentary, because it sounded like no one has ever been through all of those reports.
Nope.
That's weird.
They didn't care. What do you mean it's weird?
It's weird that they don't care.
They were gay men, and they didn't care.
Well, shame on them. Because the thing that she said right off the bat, so she's like, yeah, I requested these records from the Freedom of Information Act, and when I got these files, there was one person's name that was mentioned more than once, several times, that was never mentioned in previous investigation, and the guy's name was Thomas Ackerman.
And he actually was mentioned, his name was mentioned more times than Herb Baumeister.
And they just...
And this was the first we were hearing of it. You know, it wasn't in the first thing. Yeah.
Well,
it was
the thing
crazy.
that, and this is just one lady piecing together what didn't look too hard to piece together, quite frankly, but maybe it was. But just saying, like, Thomas Ackerman was this middle-aged white man that...
The same kind of Emma, like the same kind of person as Herb.
Yeah. He and Herb sounded like
they were in it
kindred
together.
spirits. Yeah. But basically, I believe this reporter had 3 different men whose remains were found at Fox Hollow. 3 different men linked to this
last scene
Thomas
with him.
Ackerman.
Yes. Last scene with him.
Like he posted bail for one of these guys, and his bones ended up in Herb's backyard. He, you know, like, and I'm like, huh? But let's get to why that happened. Okay. We can come back to her because she did discover a few different things in the files, but one thing that you might say, well, why? What happened in Hamilton County? Why weren't there any files to be had? I thought this part was the craziest part of the documentary. They revealed that the detective that took over when Indianapolis said, here's all the stuff we have, and since all these victims are in Hamilton County, you can have all these case files. And a Hamilton County detective whose last name is Whitsaw, where is it? Wisman, Whisman. I didn't get his first name, but his last name is Wisman. He was the main detective on the thing. He told the Indianapolis detective that he didn't want all the files.
They had it on video.
How embarrassing.
We have our guy. I don't need anything else.
I just want Herb's file.
Let's just stop right there.
And she's like, really?
Case closed. Check.
It's like, okay, Barney Fife.
Yeah.
So, yes, he was shown, but then I was surprised that the current owner of Fox Hollow, that Robin Graves,
yes.
Yeah. Who acted really strange in the first documentary, I thought.
Not as strange in the second, but he's still, I don't think he's involved in any way. I think that he's got a kind of a weird hobby.
Yeah. And I am not ruling anyone out at this point. He did say on this one that he looked pretty bad in the first one. He looked like a weirdo. I mean, he kind of admitted it and said, it didn't do a lot for him socially.
Whoopsies.
Yeah. I don't know what he thought it was going to do, but...
Okay, so he's weird.
He's very weird. He has a weird obsession with this case.
And, well, to buy the home where these people were killed, you're weird. And to not change it, even weirder. Anyway, he says... He kind of said this in the documentary, kind of casually. And I'm like, what? Do you remember what he said?
Which part?
He said when the detective Wisman was on his deathbed, so this Hamilton County detective, he told this Rob Graves guy that he kept some of the files and some of the evidence from this case and that he would sell it to him for $10,000. Yeah. What?
I think that's frowned upon. I don't think that's common practice, or it shouldn't be.
Well, I think it's illegal.
Yeah. This was 25 years ago.
But those files are nowhere to be found.
Well, that's what they said. They're like, well, and he said, oh, of course I didn't do that. I feel like that's illegal. And they said, so where do you think the files are? And he's like, I have no idea.
I would have done it if I had the money. I would want to know.
Really?
I think
And he
so.
clearly had the money to buy it from him.
But I don't know
this
what
man's a
bought the
wealthy-
house. Why wouldn't he
The
spend
man's
another-
a wealthy man. I
Okay,
mean,
but I have a question. What do you think could have been in the Hamilton County's possession that
Here-
could have been really critical?
A couple of things.
Okay.
My new theory, which is different than my old theory.
Good, because I have one too.
Okay. Well, can I say my theory?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my theory now is that there were a group of air quote straight men that were picking up young gay men that were doing acts of prostitution
Sure.
for money to get by. I think that Mark Goodyear, who comes off as a complete weirdo in this, in both episodes, but if you think back 30 years, he was 6'4", blonde, blue-eyed. He didn't have the crazy Coke bottle glasses because that gets with age, you know.
Right.
He didn't look like the weirdo with the pot belly that he is now.
Right.
He looks like everybody that we went to high school with looks now.
Yeah.
And that is not what they look like in high school.
Okay.
So picture this young guy. Now, he might have been a weirdo. He might have been a drug dealer. He might have had questionable morals, let's say.
Okay.
I think, in my opinion, that he got paid by these married men to find the young prostitutes or young guys that were doing tricks for money and bring them out in the parking lot to him. They said that these bars were being watched, I thought, by police. So is a policeman involved? Probably. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, that just makes sense to me. It's easier to get away with more things. And again, this is before everything was digitalized, before there were cameras everywhere.
Right.
So you think that Mark Goodyear was kind of a middleman?
He was the middleman, and that's how he knew about everything. He knew about all the victims, but he didn't do it. In his mind, he didn't hurt anyone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So he's not a part of it in his mind. I think he's able to separate that.
Okay.
Because like the FBI agent that was there once said, how does one man drag all these people 150 to 200 yards out into the woods from the pool area, which is where he said he killed them? That doesn't make sense. Herb wasn't a big, strong guy.
No.
So how were all these? But if there were multiple men there, maybe different weekends. I also, you know, you're going to say, oh my God, you went there again. But it could have been snuff films. Those really are a thing.
Well, they talked about it again.
Yeah.
On this, I mean, that
And
definitely.
He did throw. They think he threw the.
They destroyed
movies
all
that
the-
he
he
had
destroyed all of them.
into the water
Yeah.
before he committed suicide in Canada on that beach.
You know that there's some out there.
Oh, there absolutely is.
Yeah.
That
Somebody
I
knows.
believe.
Yeah.
Do you feel like Mark? I feel like Mark got a little more loose-lipped because they're dead. Because the two people that they are eyeing are both deceased.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't look at it as that maybe he was luring them. I didn't believe that he killed anyone. That just was my gut feeling with him. But I definitely knew that he knew what happened to them.
Right.
There was one part of the documentary that he was speaking and talking about when he went home with Herb to Fox Hollow for the first time. And he said that when they pulled up to the property, of course, it's midnight, like it's pitch black. He claims that the car kind of went up on a curb or something. So the the headlights of the car went to an apartment that was like above one of the buildings on the property. And for him to suddenly remember this, I'm like,
That's a very detailed
he
explanation.
was. And he's like, it was almost like he was trying to signal somebody, like somebody was up there and they, you know, that was the signal that we're home and, you know, we're going to start
Let's
killing
go,
people.
let's get it going,
He's
yeah.
like, but nobody was home. So that was his reasoning on why he didn't get
He
killed
survived, yeah.
when he was there. Like just, but for him to suddenly
I don't know
remember
that I believe that, you know. I don't
Yeah.
know. I think, well, I told you what I think with him and what he did. He did not show up for the interview part of this one. I think he knows that they're
closer.
closer. They're getting closer. I think the whole point, this was only an hour long.
Yeah.
I think the entire point was to get out these names
Yep.
to enough people because somebody knows something. Somebody has a diary somewhere. Maybe it's one of these guys' nephews, somebody that was alive and went through their stuff, and didn't think anything of it, and then all of a sudden they're putting it together. Somebody knows, and they're just wanting somebody to help.
Well, one thing that I thought was important, and it could be a real way to somehow unearth something, was in the Indianapolis files when Laura Musall was looking through them and she found the name Thomas Ackerman over and over again. One of them was a traffic stop. And in the traffic stop, it detailed things like he had a shovel in his trunk, and he had a bag of clothing, and he had maps of state parks.
And cocaine.
But nothing to see here. Like,
yeah.
Somehow that wasn't, I think he was arrested on the traffic stop, but nothing was done with that information.
I don't think they did DNA on the shovel, or
I know.
You know what I mean? So is he another one of the men that participated? Did they all have to do a little bit so that they couldn't tell on the other ones?
I know.
You know what I mean?
That's the
Everybody
feeling that I got
has
from
to
that.
do something.
Yeah.
They mentioned another guy, John. Do you have him?
Is it Childers or
No.
Child?
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
Because I know that name.
I don't.
John, Hoehn. I don't know how to say that. Hone. Let's say that's what it means. And then it said, AKA John R. Ross.
Okay.
That was another name associated with Thomas Ackerman. So it wasn't him, but it was someone, an associate of his, that they were saying, do you know this person? Do you know anything about this person? And they had two names for him.
Well,
obviously they're not going to show us everything they have.
No.
You don't show all your cards in an investigation. But they gave us enough to go on. I'm trying to find these people's obituaries to see who's out there. They
keep going.
I just
ridiculous.
don't. That's what blew me away with the hour-long documentary, was that how did this guy's name get lost in the shuffle?
And it's just because...
we did see how, because the detective was like, we have our guy, I don't care anymore.
They just closed the book.
They just closed the book, and it's like, we have to say it again, the bones that they found are only second to the bones of 9/11. That's how many bones are at the University of Indianapolis. That's insane.
I also have a question that maybe this is just easy science that I don't understand. How are these bones so fragmented? How did they destroy the bodies that there's no hair, no skin? I don't know how long that stuff takes. No clothes, nothing but bones.
Do you burn it?
And I don't know, but and then there's so many that they're fragmented. They're not finding giant femurs. They're finding
fragments.
Did they let any wild animals out there?
I'm sure there are coyotes, but
I'm saying
I
wonder
think there's a
if they
bear
would
in
release.
Hamilton County. Is there?
I
don't know.
If they released aren't big pigs don't they eat everything?
Do they have those in wild boars in Hamilton County?
Not.
I don't know.
Probably not.
Yeah, but I'm saying that doesn't make sense to me.
No, it doesn't make sense to me either. How they're so.
Did one of them have some sort of wood chipper that they
It's not been
put
50
them through?
years.
Yeah. Well, it's been 40.
Right?
Or 30. No, since 95. So 30 years.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, one thing that I think after watching it, I thought of, and I know I don't think I made fun of you about mentioning the snuff films. I think I didn't know what they were. But then when you told me what they were, I was like, nuh-uh, there's no way that's really a thing. And then you're like, yeah, it is. And then once I got over the fact that that's really a thing.
I'm not an expert, but yeah.
Well, you told me it exists.
Yes.
And that was enough for me. I feel like if there's some way that Thomas Ackerman can be tied to any sort of snuff films or previous cases about
that they were found
being unearthed and his name tied to it in any way.
I hadn't thought about previous ones that had been found and done where they never found the people who were in them, or that's a good
I just feel
idea.
like somebody.
Yeah, they can't all be nobody knows anything about all of them. That's
right.
Yeah.
So I just thought if there was a way to attach his name to any cold case about that happening, that would be a way to piece things together. Because I also thought, hey, because they did say when Herb Baumeister was found dead, he had taken all the cassette, like the VHS cassettes from his home, and he had like 200 of them.
Yeah. He had cameras set up, like spy cameras by his pool, and then rows and rows of tapes.
So then I'm like, well, tapes are easily dubbed. You know, you think about that, like you make a tape.
Yeah.
He had a dubbing system in there. They said he did.
But I'm saying, like, if you bought one, you could have dubbed it and given it to someone. Like, if you're into that kind of thing, you could dub a tape over and over again, right? And just
Yeah. And I would have to assume people, are paying quite a bit of money. It's not a $20.
I would hope so, because it's like,
VHS.
But is
Walmart.
anybody going to want to come forward that purchase those? You know,
Right,
like
but
that's
what if somebody though got busted? What if they're in
or what if a
custody
wife found
somewhere?
something after somebody died? Like, oh, I wonder what this is on this, because this old VHS.
Hopefully it makes people,
So I just thought that could be something. I think also the more they let Mark Goodyear talk,
oh Lord,
the more he's going to dig his own grave, so to speak, because he wants to talk and he loved being the Riddler. Like he loved back when he could say, but he basically said on camera that he agreed to do the first documentary because someone was dead. He said that, like, oh, when someone's dead, then I'll feel safe to talk.
but he's an
And then
I don't know if they could get him for accessory, but
so Ackerman died in 23, and Mark Goodyear suddenly wanted to talk to the documentary team in 24.
Yep.
And he said on that documentary he wanted to talk because he felt safe, because you know some people die.
Yep. I also am not. I don't think Baumeister's wife was involved in the killing or the movies.
I don't. Yeah.
But I think she knew a whole lot, or knows, she's still alive, a whole lot more than she is saying.
Probably.
Did you know that she was on Oprah?
No, but I do vaguely.
saw that,
I vaguely
and I was-
remember that episode. I didn't put it together that they were talking about that particular thing.
'Cause
I watched Oprah religiously.
Me too.
So I do remember that episode, but I didn't put two and two together.
So when Laura Musal asked for the files, one of the files was just a clip of an Oprah Winfrey show, and she thought, "Oh, that's weird. Wonder what they thought was, in that episode that was
Interesting.
evidence." Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, and they played a little clip of it, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm sure I watched that."
Yeah.
Because I never missed an Oprah back in
Me
the day.
neither. No.
But I thought it was weird that she doesn't want to talk to anybody else. Why did she want to talk to Oprah?
Because it was the #1 show. So this mousy little girl who she played off to be, now she got her kids. She wanted those. She got a big house. She got a lake house in Wabasee.
There's no doubt in my mind she knew that
How
he
do
was
you-
gay, and probably she just turned a blind eye.
There was a part where he said, hold on, let me look real quick at my notes, but that he admitted to Julie that he had been to gay bars.
Yeah.
Baumeister. So she knew, at least at minimum,
Yeah.
that he had been to gay bars. And she would leave for weeks at a time.
No, I agree. Yeah.
I just don't believe. Could they clean so much that there's no hint of anything behind,
I think that
other than when they found the skull?
Yeah.
But-
and he talked his way out of that one.
Yeah.
I think it's easy for anyone to overlook what we think is obvious if they don't want it to be true.
No, I know.
You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Yeah.
I agree.
And who wants to admit that perhaps they not just married to a person that's cheating on them or cheating on them with someone
Right.
of the same
Public
sex,
humiliation. Yeah.
but is actually a serial killer?
Yeah.
There's only so much your little mind will allow you to do.
Right. And
I
then
think
it
for
kinda
sure.
breaks. But does she have evidence somewhere? Did he keep anything?
Yeah. I would hope that she would have brought that forward. I understand her reluctancy to speak now. I really wouldn't want
But wouldn't
to.
it make her look bad? So why would she share it?
Yeah, I don't
know. I'm just throwing it out there that
No, I know. It's interesting because I would have thought that they would have done, maybe they did. Is there anything within the two documentaries, not last one, but the first one, that did they really grill her? I mean, did they talk to her? Did they,
I feel like they
investigate her?
talked to her briefly.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel I think they had everything they wanted.
Yeah.
Again, they didn't dig too deep.
No,
No.
They're just, you got to dig. There's so many bodies.
And-
I mean, one person,
It just doesn't make
it
sense.
doesn't make sense.
Well, I will say, I mean, I think this Detective Wisman from Hamilton County totally screwed up the whole thing.
it was
But
just-
that, and I'm sure he is corrupt if he offered to sell evidence. I think I'm pretty safe to say that. But it was also, I don't like to flex and tell you this, but I grew up in Hamilton County, and to tell you that there was just no such thing going on there, like if any crime happened, let alone a serial killer like Jeffrey Dahmer or
Yeah.
John Wayne Gacy, that it's just unfathomable. So I'm sure in his mind, it wasn't the scope that it turned out to be.
No.
Like, I'm sure he thought, okay, nothing happens here.
Like, how could you wrap your head around
Yeah.
that much?
It was
Right.
that guy's house. There were a bunch of bones. Sure, it's him. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Not saying that's great police work, but I can see how in the 90s people might think, yeah.
And let's be honest, and this was the whole thing with the Jeffrey Dahmer, like, made for TV thing. They were gay men. They were looked upon as second-class citizens.
Or no one was looking for
And, or
him.
no,
Yeah.
and if you aren't, you know, if you're on the street and you're just selling your, you know, your body or drugs to get by, there wasn't. I mean, that's
Well, they said that it was that. No one was looking.
no one was. It was
And
sad.
it was during the AIDS crisis
Yes.
when all these
Yeah.
young men were dying.
Yes.
So when they didn't come back, people
They
just assumed they were dead or that they went home to Iowa for their parents to take care of them.
Yeah.
Right.
Or whatever, wherever it was.
Yeah, no, I agree. It just, yeah,
Well, I think that this particular follow-up documentary, like we said, it was only an hour, maybe
Yeah,
a little bit over that.
over an hour. That, yeah,
I
it
felt
was
like
just-
it had a lot
lot
of
of meat to
usually
it.
when they say bombshell information, I'm like, it turns out to
I
not
do
be a
have
bombshell.
Two Greg's related things to add to this.
Okay, please do.
The first one was my cousin's picture is on the wall at Greg's.
Oh my gosh, that's
I
funny.
took a screenshot where
Oh, we're-
you could see the picture. So that was kind of cool when they were like having an interview
Yeah,
there on
yeah.
this last one. And then the other thing is a few months ago, Bart Goodyear
oh yeah.
was spotted at Greg's at the bar a couple of times.
Okay, can we
Sorry.
back up just a little bit?
Yeah.
Can you tell the listeners why your cousin's picture is up at the bar?
Because he was one of the bag ladies. They did drag shows, and he was
Famous.
kind of for that in this crowd in Indy. And he
Okay.
passed away, and they hung up his picture.
Okay, I just
So-
wanted to make sure everybody knew
Yes.
that there was. That's why his
Yeah,
picture's
so,
up there.
So he,
He's revered.
yeah, and he does not look like my cousin Tommy. He looks like Tomasita. He doesn't even look like a female Tommy. I don't know what he looks like because it's the makeup was incredible. Anyway, but the other part was Mark Goodyear had been there a couple of times and people were not comfy. Someone took a picture and
I
it
saw
was
it.
posted on a website. Yep, and then you could see that Greg commented on this website and said he has been banned. He will not be back because that's like the premier gay bar then and now in Indianapolis.
And
It's old
he's showing up
school,
there.
And back then it was the main
Yeah.
one.
That takes nerve.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the mental capacity of this man
that
not
has
to think
been
that he
since the first
that
show.
he wouldn't be noticed.
Yeah, that people.
Or did he think he'd be a star? Like like people would
Maybe.
be happy to see him.
I think he's arrogant enough to think that.
Yeah, because I was like, what? You know, people think you're involved. How do you then just walk into the place that people think you took gay men from?
Anybody want to go home with me?
Yeah.
No
And
takers.
And the picture appeared to be daytime. You know, he's just sitting at the bar during the
Still.
day. But I
poor
think he needs to
bartender.
find a different bar to hang out
Yeah.
at.
Yeah.
Yeah, the poor bartender.
Yeah.
Hey, what can I get you?
Yeah.
You want to leave?
Yes.
Yeah, he's.
So that was crazy.
That
to
is
me.
crazy.
Because even though I knew he was real and in this area, you know what I mean?
Didn't think
you
he'd
don't
be-
expect to see him sitting there like now, current
in flesh
day.
sighting. Yeah. And if he's scary on film, can you only imagine in person how absolutely terrified you would be if you saw him?
Yeah.
I think I would run. One thing that Jeff Jellison did say, because that when they were talking to him about this follow-up documentary, they said, when we talk to Mark Goodyear, what would you want us to ask him? And Jeff, I thought, had the best response. He said, ask him how he knows Thomas Ackerman and just see what his face looks like.
Because he was talking about how his eyes were blinking, like when a topic got on to something that they would blink really fast.
Like he didn't want to talk
like
about.
detective work, like they know what their, how their body language.
Yeah, like just to see.
Yeah, see what he does.
See how his face drops or not, or exactly what his reaction is to kind of gauge whether I know exactly.
See, that just gave me cold chills. It made me a little nervous.
And that's why I'm sure he didn't show up for the interview, because he thought, ooh, they probably want to talk to me because they've got
more
something.
Yeah.
And then I thought, did that Rob Graves tell him that? Because for some reason they came across in both documentaries as kind of buddies. Like,
yes.
They're like, oh, can you text Mark? And he's like, yeah, I'll text him. No, I'll call him, but I usually text him. Like, you usually text him? Why in the heck are you in the fact that you have his phone number and you text him a lot? Who's to say that?
And part of the reason I think that Rob Graves is somehow loosely connected or not loosely is he bought the property. A good way to keep people from digging or looking at things is to purchase it. You know what I mean?
Well, here was my hypothesis.
Right.
My hypothesis was when Detective Wisman from Hamilton County on his deathbed said, hey, Rob Graves, I've got evidence and I'll sell it to you for $10,000. And he said, oh, that sounds illegal. No, thank you. I think what happened was he and Mark Goodyear bought the evidence because Mark Goodyear knew that something in that was damning to him. And so now Rob Graves either helped him buy the evidence or at least alerted Mark Goodyear that the evidence was for sale.
How is Rob Graves connected to that detective? Why would he be close enough to be there at his death?
Because he made it his hobby to know everything about
that.
That's weird.
Was I wish they would have explained that he would have explained a little better. Like, what are you doing there?
Yeah.
I mean, is he a distant cousin? Like,
why were you there on his deathbed?
Yeah,
he just made it seem like it was his hobby to know everything about it.
So much that.
But I thought, ooh, if he knew that there was hidden evidence and he's buddy with Mark Goodyear,
Kim. Yeah.
What's to stop him from saying, hey, let's buy this so they can never see it?
Yeah.
I mean,
I just solved it.
I think that any type of anything is possible with any of it.
Yeah.
Well, it's shady, and I can't wait. I will be interested to see. We'll have to look up if the reporter's book is already out or if it's coming soon. She made it seem like it wasn't done because she had her little corkboard that had all of her
chapters.
Yeah.
She was putting in different.
Unless
things.
she's an incredibly fast writer.
I don't know how long ago it was filmed. So
I don't either.
Okay, so we'll check on that. I would be interested
but let's
to hear.
go to a book signing.
Oh,
because there will be a local one.
Absolutely.
Heck yeah,
I love those.
Should be at Greg's. Oh, that'd be good.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. Okay, we'll work on that. Or the marketing team.
Call her.
Yeah, I'll call her. We'll work on it. Thank you so much for joining us on Up for Grabs. It's one of our favorite things to solve crimes, make it a local crime, and it's all but solved. So
That's not true, but
No.
I like that you're saying it. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we're invested. We'll get to the bottom of this somehow.
Yes.
We hope that you watch, and if you have any other insights that we missed, we hope that you would pass those along to us. And we'll see you next time on Up for Grabs.